Now then, and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft world. Today, I'm on my own. Today, I'm doing a little bit of MC edit today. I've decided what I'm doing. You may notice by the title of the video and where we're starting out today, at the Hypermine lighthouse that I built at spawn at Hypermine. Well, I'm not actually at spawn at Hypermine. We moved this a little while ago because my youngest, Ranger Bee, you know him as, liked my lighthouse so much that he wanted it on the server straight away. So I transferred it over fairly swiftly, and then we did the little route around. We copied the route around the harbour area, the harbour wall area, because it was a very good design. I didn't come up with the design. I will show you on the Hypermine server who did what. But we are going to go over to the Hypermine server today. I've long since stopped playing on the Hypermine server. Maybe I'll have a little chat to you about stuff while we're over there. It's just through here. Let us just go this way. And then we should, through the magic of technology. And here we are. Yep, totally seamless. Absolutely, you didn't spot the editing there at all. Look, old bones. Hey, old bones. So, I swapped, or rather, what did I swap? I'm trying to say words here, and it's not coming out because of the big shock of looking at this place all over again. Check it out. People were really, really busy when this first started. They're still busy now with the live streaming. You should check out the live streamers from Hypermine. They're still streaming, still making cool stuff happen on here. But what I did was I took a copy of my lighthouse from here and put it into the Nemsun is my dad world. Simple as that, really. Why are you trapped up there, dude? Have you got a problem up there? No? Okay, good. And this is how it used to look. Basket's Fresh Fish Farm. And this was, yeah, well, you've seen it. And we had some other little shops. Ector's Home by the Sea shop. It was good. It was good. But now everybody's live streaming from the server. And I don't do so much live streaming, as you well and truly know, don't you? I don't live stream. I let Ego do the live streaming. And I just play. I should do more live streaming. I have tried to do live streaming, but I could never do a regular schedule of live streaming. And, well, the Hyperminers are all live streaming now. And that means that there's not really many videos being produced, so I'm not keeping up with what's going on because I'm not watching the live streams, I'm not in the live streams, and I'm only on the server every now and again. So I may as well be playing in a single player. Really? That's about the size of it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to MC edit the desert build that I started on the Hypermine server and take it into my world. Okay. Doesn't the magic of editing help you save so much time on long journeys like that through the nether? Oh yes. So this was my sandy pyramid. This was the entrance into my desert area on the Hypermine server. Still is, technically, my entrance to the Hypermine server, where I had a big auto-sorting system through here. I don't know if you followed the Hypermine Vanilla series, but I did a lot of bits and pieces on here. Oh, there's a redstone and stuff going on around here to sort sand from a sorting chest into all the storage locations all the way around here. And it took a while to do, but eventually I got there, and it's pretty good. We've got sand, we've got stairs and slabs, we've got sandstone blocks, basically, the crafted blocks, and then we've got sandstone blocks on this side. Or at least we did have. Yeah, we got a fair bit. Got a fair bit of sandstone bricks in there. And it all sorts it all out, basically, from this chest here. So if you didn't want something, you'd put it in this chest here. It would sort through all the system and then come back through until eventually it would go to the unsorted chest. Non-sand products, which I'm going to throw those things in there. This is the stuff that if you threw it into there out of your inventory, it wouldn't matter. It would go all the way around, didn't get sorted, come back up to here. Awesome. I liked it. It was great. Next up, this was the area that people were going to build their little bases in, or their little sand shops. There was a plot there, and a plot there. Jan.com did this a little bit, and was going to do a village of trading. and nobody really claimed the other area over there. We have a nice little run here of my bridge. I quite like my bridge. Brings it through from this section over here all the way across. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Schematica mod, and I've updated my version of 1.12 to Schematica mod all of this stuff and try and take a copy of it so that I can MC edit it into my world and carry on with it. I know there's a desert somewhere. Electron B went and found us a desert as one of the priorities for the seed that he sorted out for us originally, was to have a mesa and a, well, all the biomes, a mesa and a desert and all that kind of stuff fairly close to spawn so we could set it all up and erect it right. But this was my fortified desert city. And a little door in here just to let us in. Yeah, awesome. Spent a lot of time working on this lot. Spent a lot of time working on this, doing all this intricate wood details and stuff like that. Spent a lot of time building it all up and creating it all, and loads of time just clearing the desert here. Just clearing the desert. I think that was the worst part, was the clearing the desert. That's what broke me. That's what broke me in the end. I even tried live streaming so that I could just clear the desert while I was on a live stream. That didn't even work for me. I just gave up. I did. No one was making videos on the server. Everyone was live streaming. I didn't do live streaming, and I had this kind of desert to empty, to level it out, to put the walls up around. I was slowly building the walls up around as I was clearing it. I only had to go that far. It's just that little corner over there. I think other people have been taking some of the sand from here, which is good on them. That's good for them. But I built this whole city area over here. I've even got my Patreon monument over there as well. So I did quite a lot of work on this area, and I don't want to see it gone. So I'm going to use Schematica to take a copy of it from the server and transplant it using MC Edit into my world, so that I've got this desert building and everything in it. Well, maybe not the goods and the stock and all that, but everything in it. Including some of the villagers maybe, wandering around doing all the cool stuff, making all the things happen for me in this area. Got automated wheat farm, villagers doing all the automated wheat gathering, and yeah, it was excellent. I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it, except for the point of when I got to just digging out the desert. And when it came to digging out the desert, that was it. I just lost interest. Everyone stopped making videos, and I just lost interest. Everything just went downhill from there, and I stopped doing vanilla Minecraft for a little bit, which was a first in like 4 years for me to not be doing vanilla Minecraft, especially not be doing vanilla Minecraft series. So today we are going to sort that out. So what have I got? Schematica, just basically you put a red point and a blue point. I think I've shown this all before. We need to show it on so we can see where it is. Red point and a blue point, and we will save that area. Now, I'm not going to go through it all now with you exactly, but you can see roughly what we're doing here. This is just like an example. Everything inside of that cube between red point and blue point, I can then save as a schematic. And so I am going to take a schematic of everything in this desert area and transfer it over to MC Edit and play around with it on our My World map. Okay, so the first stage is done on this bit. I started up a single player flat desert world save and added in the schematic to that, just so that I could isolate it a little bit from the terrain, because some of the terrain goes into some random areas, like this was into a savanna-y type area. And I might want to remove that kind of stuff and isolate the actual bit that I want to use in my overall design. Also, there's some bits, like these walls, which don't work unless the sand is in the right place. So I've taken a copy of a section of the wall and I've brought it over here, so that then I've got a schematic of a wall section that I can slot in wherever I want and however I need to make it fit. The walls around the city will fit where I want them to. Also with the temple I've pulled out of the ground slightly, because previously the bottom part of the temple was underwater, so this was kind of like waterlogged at the bottom here, And I didn't like that, wanted to fill it in, so I decided to pull it up out of the ground and then fix it up and set it up and make it into a final schematic so that I could select each corner of it and just save that as a full-on schematic that I might use again in other builds, because I quite like my temple build here. So it's kind of like this, and then I can save this section by lining it up right, and yeah, that looks good. And it looks like we've got it out of the back end as well. Yep. So now we've got it all selected in like that, I can actually save that particular schematic, export it so that I can use it in other programs at a later date. Okay, well, this is roughly where the desert is. The mesa biome leads out that way to spawn. You can't see it all, but it's there, trust me. And the desert here leads off in that general direction towards the jungle, I think. But this is the other side of the mesa biome, and it's a nice little desert. It's fairly self-contained, really. I don't know about that little bit down there because we haven't explored down that way. But this bit is definitely the kind of bit of desert that I'm after, right? So taking a look at it and importing the desert city schematic into this, and I'm not sure if it's going to fit where I want it to. I'm not sure. We do kind of have a bit of a river section in it. It would be nice if this yeah, here we go. It would be nice if we could get that river section to connect with another river section so that it's working right once we've got it there, so the river stays where the river was previously. So we've got this bend in the river that goes two directions and also an entrance. So I'm kind of trying to line up the area over here so that the rail line goes out towards the mesa over this side over here. So I'm kind of lining up like this and not seeing a good place for a river to go, to be fair. Not seeing a great place for a river to go. Let's have a nudge down a little bit. Let's go make it go down into that kind of level. There we go. And let's go just up one. There we go. And then we can nudge it around this way and that way to try and line it up with something that we want. Now, unfortunately, if I bring it all the way over here so that we're lined up with the water source somehow, if the water's kind of lined up to make some kind of rivery type thing, then we're missing out on a lot of the other stuff over there. We're missing out on the rail track moving in the right direction. So I might have to lose quite a bit of that. Okay, so now I'm coming at it from a different point of view. Now trying to get this section done first, like the entrance temple in first, and then line up the road or the track over there somewhere, and then figure out all the water and stuff afterwards. I've done a little bit more messing around on the flat world just to try and change it up a little bit, but we're kind of okay at the minute. I'm wondering now where this would look the best in this section here. So I'm going to nudge it up another couple of blocks. Just because then it looks a little bit more sticky out. Yeah. Feels like that then is the higher level over here. So this feels more in keeping with the level of the land here, which is the point. This was supposed to be the start, so that's the level of the land there, which works. And so the back end then will need a little bit of touching up, a little bit of work around the edges, but essentially it's pretty good. So let's import, let's make sure we copy air, copy water, and import that to there. See how that looks now. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I've tried to put the actual city in there, and I've done a bit of editing while I've been in here as well. So I've kind of got the curvature of the river going, so I can do a little bit of work to it and change that around to make it fit better. And then I'm going to have this little island, which will be my sugarcane growing farm area, with a river going either side of it, which should look nice eventually. This is the bit where it could all go horribly wrong. Let's select this whole area with the castle front in, like so. We don't want to select the air around it. We want the air above it, but we don't want the air around it. So we've got to be very fine detail now to drop it down in sections. Not really that fussed about that one block extra there. I do need to bring one more block this way, like that. There we go, and make sure it's on this edge here properly. Yes, like that. Make sure it's on this edge properly. One block out, boom. and then make sure that we've got it lined up over here. It doesn't matter exactly where I get this line done, because this line's part of everything anyway. And I'm just going to lower everything down into it, but it'll be easier if I'm squared up, so I can lower chunks squared as I need it. Okay, so it's down to the bottom. This is good. It's going to lower all of that in. Okay, right, so now the moment of truth. Now we're going to nudge it down. We're going to use shift to take it down. It will record all the chunks in case I want to undo, and then it will remove everything. It'll move everything back down to where I want it to be. So it'll move everything down one. This will now delete all the blocks that are in the way. So it's going to keep doing this until I tell it to stop. So I'm doing it one click at a time, moving it into place. It'll delete all the blocks that's in the way, and we will have victory, hopefully. Looks to me like we need one more little bit here. It looks like it's going to slot in nicely over here though. And that does mean that we're going to end up with a nice bit of river coming into our city in the next phase. So once again, I need to take it down quite a bit, and it's going to take me a little while to get it perfect. So bear with me, and I'll bring you back when it's all done. I'm going to have to bring in each section, chunks by chunks, and lower them down little by little to make sure that they all get put in properly, because I'm deleting blocks as I'm doing this. So I have to be very careful. Now then. Okay, so after a long time, and it was quite a stressful long time as well, because if I made one simple mistake, I could have lost quite a lot of work. And saving it and moving things around, and then saving it and then moving things around, slowly but surely I worked my way through it. On the edge of my seat, tenderly, carefully watching to make sure that it all worked properly. And I think I've done it okay. I have gone a little overboard with ground clearance, and I'm regretting it a little bit now I'm looking at the map. But, well, obviously this isn't ground clearance. This is quite hefty, big, delicious mountains of sand. But anyway, the arrival point is all here as it was before. It's even managed to keep the signs and what NBT data was on the signs as well, which is good. It did not keep any of the blocks that were stored in here, and it did not keep the portal lit. So the entire sorting system needs reorganizing because it's got no items in it. Yeah, great. Another thing I've noticed is my ender chest. It empties every time. Every time I use the MC edit, my ender chest has emptied out. So I just can't use ender chests anymore. I won't be able to use ender chests while I'm on this server. I'm going to have to hide my stuff around in normal chests if I want to keep all my survival stuff safe. I believe I've lost my survival stuff once already doing the ender chest thing. But right now I've got stuff from when I was on Visocraft and tools from when I was on Visocraft. Pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, so that's the entrance over there. I'm going to cut something through here, some kind of tunnel or the like at some point. But for right now we're going to have to jump over the top. I think there's a way through there actually. There's some really cool looking natural tunnels that we might be able to utilise and use when we're building here. Like this kind of bit here is a fairly natural looking hole in the sand. Next to some other fairly natural looking holes in the sand, and this is 1.12 generation. This is world gen for 1.12, so it's pretty cool to keep it in there. But it's quite a nice little setup there. And just over there in the distance you might be able to see there's a village, and there's another portal over there that Electron B has already sorted. But then there's the flatness. Yeah, that down here, look. So we're not far away from spawn and the mesa. So we've come from spawn over there. We've got the racetrack now to the mesa where my Visocraft area is, and then from the Wales flag. And then we've got over the other side of the mesa here, we've now got this whole section here for carving out all the sand we ever need. But I cleared the area in front because it was quite large mountains in front here. And there was no way I was clearing them by hand, and at the same point I wanted a flat desert so that you would see the impact that this place gives when it finally gets into render distance, because it's so far away at the minute. Let's see when it gets into actual render distance. Boom! There we go, look. So, we've now got the city walls and this flat, glorious desert outside. It reminds me of many of those films where like ancient Egyptians or ancient Greeks would have this massive desert walled city and then a massive plains area where the armies would fight over the city, and they would sally out from the city and just come and wreck their opponents, or David and Goliath and various other like Jason and the Argonauts and all those kind of stories of desert warfare in this great land here. Even more recently, in the Game of Thrones, they've seen those kind of things, and this was kind of a Game of Thrones-y city. So this being here now means that I can continue with some of my work on here, which is great. This train track can lead, and it does feel like that hole that I just came through was a good place. I like the backdrop though, so I've kept the backdrop of that mountainside there. So it leads into and through that mountainside is what I'm thinking. But we've got this whole harbour area, whole port side over this way, which looks cool as well. And it still connects to a nice river, which is cool as well. So it's got its new home, and I'm quite happy with its new home. I did manage to finish this off as well. Only one side had been done previously. I'd done one side, so I just mirrored it and copied it over to the other side while I had it in MC Edit, and everything was ready for me to do that. So that's sorted. So now I've got the staircases, which took me potentially 3 or 4 days to craft and get ready and sorted. It didn't take me that long to do the second one because I just copied it. But yeah, it's looking pretty good inside as well. Plenty of space for me to develop and do things a bit later on. The gate tower with all its glorious overflowing colour to bring colour into the desert is looking pretty good. I mean, I might put some big desert objects on, big desert builds like sphinxes and pyramids and things, just because, well, it's Minecraft, and why not build stuff in Minecraft? So stuff that I haven't yet built in any Minecraft game whatsoever, I might do that. I might even crash a plane somewhere out there, like a space shuttle type plane for my Forever Stranded series, just to remember that by. But now we've got the village over there. We always had a lot of space here, and we always had this corner to finish clearing, but now that little corner's not going to be too much. That's actually going to be the sand I'm going to use to fill in these gaps around here. The wall extends all nicely along to another tower over there, and we've got kind of a harbour area. So if we do want to make a water-based route, I can start from here and work it through. Might even put some actual ships in harbour around here, maybe do some docks, and explore some caves. We have access to the the savannah, which we had access to a savannah before. That's where we got all of the acacia wood from that we've used in these various places. And the clay, of course, is very important. We've got a lot of multicoloured clays. We've got the colourful acacia wood, and we've got lots and lots of sheep and stuff over here, so I can continue with this lot. I did like this river though, this little river that came in, so I've started adapting it already by adding some more dirt around so the dirt can start grassing up, so I can see roughly an idea of some kind of Nile type thing coming up, so I can build around and do some little bridges over and that kind of stuff while I'm expanding out this little city that I've got going on here. I've chopped down the walls so they're all nice and open, they can go where they want now. But we'll be adding more doors and more places of more city builds around and about. The Dark Old Pub. Deliveries only. This is literally where I used to sleep. This was my bedroom, and this was my base on the server. This was all my storage and everything. All now absolutely empty. I've got nothing on here. It's all on the Hypermine server version. But that's okay. Did a lot of hidden lighting and stuff to make the place look really cool. And I was very, very happy with what I'd done here to create all of this lovely textures and the like, making things look really good. The build style I really enjoyed, but I haven't yet finished with it. This guy over here should still be out there. There should be a villager. Yeah, he's just around the corner there hiding. He should still be doing all that collecting. I don't know if this is still actually working though. Well, he's running around okay. I don't know if he's got anything in it. I suppose we can check by having a look in these chests over here. Well, no sign there, but it is supposed to come all the way down through here and get rid of any seeds that he throws in there into the rubbish. The lava's still there. Yeah, the lava's still there, so it still gets rid of any rubbish that we don't want. And we should have a way into the cow farm in the place in here. There was a way in around here somewhere. Yeah, down by my little kitchen. And this was a way into the automated cow farm. So, is there enough cows in here at the moment? Well, the cows are in there. And this is not yet filling full of wheat. So, there may be a problem with that villager needing to have something to do or something like that needs to work out before I can get that working again. Maybe the technology has changed since their version of Minecraft, but I doubted it. I doubt it. And then I've got this wonderful marketplace with various numbers on the marketplace running through and lots of colour and fabrics, and it was a colour update. I think I want to get some parrots and things in here and some rare animals, maybe some cats and bits and pieces just hanging around. Got all my various wool colours, awesomely done. Dalcos drop-off point. Oh yeah, I was doing some kind of Assassin's Creed parkour at one point where I wanted to try and figure out a way of being able to run across the rooftops of the whole city in an Assassin's Creed style. And here was the Patreon Parthenon. Yep, completely built from scratch and lots and lots and lots of quartz later. My banner's all over it. This is where I put all my patrons when we first started a Patreon back in June 2016 when we first started. Jumping Fox, or Foxy, as you may know if you see her in chat. Fat Chris and Dalcos still patrons today. That's over a year now, maybe even a year and a half. Basket, Bartleby, Gene Splicer, Autopia, Dr. Marco, Suomi, Kristen, Athena, all old patrons, Glitch, Salsa, and Dadcraft and Strudel, August last year patrons, but that's as far as I got. So I better start putting some more names on, getting some more emerald blocks and just filling this out a little bit for 2017 and 2018. Let us continue. I am planning on having this whole map available for download. The world map will be available for download soon. Check out the description down below if it's ready or not. Some floating torches from a wall I deleted. And a random creeper. Hey, creeps. Can you take some of this? 2 shots? Good job, because that's all I've got. Yeah, so, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I do appreciate it. I enjoy doing my world stuff. I'm putting in all of my creations into my world and playing around on the server with the kids as well, and it's lots of fun. So thank you all for joining me for another episode of me adding something new to my Minecraft world. Until next episode, thank you so much. Don't forget the links in the description and check out the Patreon to see if you can get your name on the wall, and also links in the description for downloading the map. The Patreon server will be having a copy of the map updated very soon as well, so you'll be able to explore it for yourself on the Patreon server. Until then, though, thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of My World. Goodbye.